So how do you run Facebook ads to get Instagram followers in 2023? In this video, I'm going to take you through a live ad account and show you the exact strategy that we used for one of our partners to actually help grow their Instagram followers. So how to actually set up the campaigns, how to set up the ads, and what type of results you can expect as far as running Facebook ads, how much it's going to cost you per follow, and how much you need to spend in order to grow your following on Instagram. And before we get into the video, if you're new around here, my name is Blake Bauer, and I'm the co-founder at a digital advertising agency called Jetstream Digital, and we help e-learning and e-commerce brands grow and scale their business using digital advertising. So if you want to learn more about that, you can go ahead and check the links in the description and apply to work with myself and my team. Now, also make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos in digital marketing, digital advertising, and overall growing a business online. Definitely a lot of new content going to be coming out, so you're going to want to make sure that you stick around for that. Like the video, leave me a comment letting me know what you thought, and let's go ahead and jump into the video and let me show you how to set up these campaigns. All right, so I'm just going to start off here in the Facebook ad account. Now, if you have a completely brand new Facebook ad account, right, it's going to look something like this. Hopefully you're already familiar with the back end of the Facebook ad account dashboard, right? So once you're in here, you're going to want to go ahead and create a new campaign. Now, you have a couple different options as far as running Facebook ads to get Instagram followers. Now, the first and most common way is to just boost a post, right? And that can honestly be pretty effective. If you have a post that's done very well for your brand, your personal brand, or your business, that's got a lot of engagements, done really well, and you want to put some spend behind that to get even more people to see it, that's a good way to actually get some Instagram followers. And you can see pretty anecdotally from the spend to how many followers you're getting, if that's working or not. So that's the first way, and that will actually create an ad and a campaign in this for you, and you can actually just do that from the Instagram app. So that's the one way. That's not the way that we're going to be covering in this method. However, if you did want to boost a post, it's something that you can experiment with, and it does work somewhat effectively. Now, you can also use the ad account and you can do the same thing. You can boost a post. However, you can do it from within the ad account, which is a much more effective way to do that. Or you can create your own ads that are specifically with the intent to get Instagram followers. So I'll show you both of those ways in this video, and then I'll show you a live example of a brand that we've worked with to get them Instagram followers and what worked for them as well, while keeping things as confidential as we can. So in the ad account here, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and click on create, and then you have a few different objectives here. Now, this is the most important thing to note, is that Instagram does not have a objective to get followers. You can't select, hey, Facebook, I want to get Instagram followers. Can you please optimize my ads around getting Instagram followers? They don't have that option. It's not like Facebook page likes, where you can select Facebook page likes as your objective and then easily get Facebook page likes for relatively cheap. You don't have that option here, so you have to kind of play around with the different objectives, which we've done, and you have to select one that and view the results outside of the ad account, because it's not going to be reporting on how many Instagram followers you're getting inside of the Facebook ad account, and it's not going to give you a cost per follow, for example, in that case. So from experimenting and from other guys like Ben Heath and other things that we've learned from, right, we found the best is traffic by far. And the reason for that is you can run a traffic campaign, and then the link of your ad can actually send them to your Instagram page, and then you can have the call to action on the text of your ad that says click to follow or whatever it would be. So traffic is by far the best. Awareness doesn't have the link. Engagement is going to get people to engage on your post. It's not going to necessarily get them to click. And then you don't want to optimize for leads or sales or anything like that, because these are high intent audiences, and we're not looking to get leads or get sales. We are just looking for the maximum amount of clicks to our profile that will hopefully then convert to a follow. But again, we can't track that they're actually following. We can't tell Facebook to optimize that. So we're just pretty much going to optimize around the cost per click in this case to get the most people to our Instagram, to get the most followers. So select traffic. Now, what you want to do, just naming conventions, just go, Instagram followers, right? And let's just go like V1, and then the date, let's just go June 2023. Right, just keep it simple there. So go continue, and then you're going to have the option here to select advanced campaign budget or an A/B test or anything like that. Wouldn't worry about any of this stuff. I would just leave advanced campaign budget on, to be honest, at the start here, and then just set your daily budget, right? So $100 a day, whatever you want to do, to kind of gauge your results. So I'm just going to leave that at $100 a day, and then you don't need to worry about any of these other things. Allow ads to run at all times. That's good. So for this campaign, as far as in the ad set level, again, what we're optimizing for is link clicks. And then as far as the website, that's where we're going to use our Instagram account URL to actually run these ads to. So as far as the ad set name, this is where you're going to want to do, whatever the targeting is. So I'm going to go through here and set up this targeting, and then I'm going to name it after that. Start date, you can leave that. So as far as location targeting and audience goes, this is the biggest lever that we found when it comes to getting Instagram followers for a cheap cost per follow. Now, if you're optimizing for volume and you just want to get the cheapest followers possible that speak English, just to make your numbers look good for vanity metrics, right? Then you're going to want to open that up to countries that are, fairly cheap and have a low GDP, essentially, have a lot of people, and it's cheap to advertise to them, right? So those countries would be things like India, anything, just in that region. I'll show some examples here. If you want to get people that are, within your target market that are likely to engage, that are, that will actually, potentially be a customer for your business, then you'll obviously want to advertise to your country that you're, wanting to reach people in, right? So Canada, let's do like the United States. Australia is another one that's good. New Zealand and the United Kingdom. These are kind of like the top 5 that people would typically do, right? There you go. So United States as well. So there we go. So you can do the top 5. Again, what you're going to be seeing though, if you're advertising to these top 5 countries, unless you have a really, really good ad, the cost per click is going to be fairly high to advertise to these regions. So this is the biggest lever that you can pull, is to expand to broader countries. And I'll show an example of exactly how to do that in just a moment here. Now, what you're going to want to do, another option, again, if you want to expand locations, you can go browse here, and then you can go countries, and you can select by countries here, or you can go regions as well as good. So you can do free trade regions, right? So you can do the European Economic Area. You can see some of the countries in there, the North American Free Trade Agreement, Canada, Mexico, United States. Right, there's a few different regions here, or you can go, emerging markets here, which has some different countries, and then you can go the Euro area as well. So I would recommend honestly expanding to like all of the Euro area, right? For example, and then even including some of these other kind of regions here, like expanding to the Caribbean, right? Central America, just selecting Europe as well, selecting North America, Oceania, South America, right? These are some of the things that you can open it up to. Now, the one thing that I actually did notice is if you open it up to like all of this stuff here, a lot of the spend actually ends up going to like India, which isn't the best. So what you can do is just kind of add in India here, and you can actually exclude that location, and then it'll advertise more to everything surrounding it. But so we have a lot of locations here now, and that's kind of a good start. Again, if we're going for vanity metrics, just maximum followers, right? Now, the other things that you can play around with are, say you have a specific gender, right? You want to reach men primarily, and you want to reach men who are, 18 to 40, right? For example, that's your target audience. And you also want them to be associated with hunting, right? For example, that's what your business is around, that's what you do. And that's kind of like the example that I'm actually going to showcase, is that's what the niche kind of was in. And then that's a good starting place, right, for how you can actually advertise. Now, I would actually recommend for followers, just open this up, honestly, all the way to 18 to 65 plus. Just keep that as broad as possible. That's going to be the best strategy to go for to maximize your results there. Now, as far as any of this other stuff goes, I wouldn't turn on advantage detailed targeting just yet, because you're maximizing for link clicks and followers. You can experiment with this, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily right now. Now, the other big thing is the language. So definitely want to select, if you're targeting all these different countries, you want to make sure at least they're English speaking. So I would just select English all, and you can see that narrows it down a little bit. And then you'll want to go to the placements as well. And this is another big thing that you want to adjust. Obviously, if we're trying to get Instagram followers, we don't want to advertise to people on Facebook and bring them over to Instagram. We want to just advertise to people on Instagram and then have them click our link, swipe up on our story, and check out our Instagram, right? So turning off all these other placements except for Instagram is good. And then as well, again, from our learnings, and then also just from other guys out there who have done similar experiments, we found that Instagram Explore can work well, and Instagram Explore Home can potentially work well. However, that's a different format of like an image. And so I turned these off, and the cheapest placement to go for is actually just Instagram Stories and Instagram Reels. Definitely by far the cheapest. And it's just a good way to get in front of somebody, quickly show them what your brand is all about, get them to swipe up and check out your Instagram. And it's pretty simple there. So I'm just going to keep on going here. If you'd like to show your ads and search placement on Instagram, you also need to select the Instagram feed as a placement. That's fine. Yeah. Oh, yeah, let me just turn that off. So there you go, Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, that's all we need, right? Another thing that you can do, devices only when connected to Wi-Fi. I wouldn't do that either. As far as inventory placements here, it's not giving us the option to adjust that. I just got to verify some of these edits here. And so let's just name this ad, right? So I'll just name this hunting, right? Let's just go global. And then let's go men 18 plus IG stories, right? So pretty simple. So like that's what we're gonna do as far as like the strategy goes. And then you want to test a few different like detailed targeting locations just to see if you can get a better cost per click in those regions, potentially testing some different locations, just trying to maximize that cost per click. Now, if we keep on going here, again, we have the stories. Last thing is the actual ad itself, and you have a couple different options here. So we have our actual agency page here. So we have Jetstream Digital, Jetstream Agency, and then you can essentially just create an ad here. So let's just go add unit 1, for example, right? And then you're going to go through your typical process of actually creating an ad. Now, what we can do is actually you can manually upload an image or a video, right? And then you can add some text and some headlines. This stuff isn't going to be as important as we are creating a story ad. So really the headline and primary text isn't that important. But then the URL here, what we want to do is use our Instagram page for your business, right? So you're just going to want to get the Instagram URL for who you're wanting to get followers for and add that here to the website URL. So let me just go ahead and grab that quickly here. Let me go ahead and go Jetstream Agency, I believe. We don't really actively use this to promote a ton anymore, but let's go back here and add that in. So we have Jetstream Agency as the URL. The call to action that we typically use is just learn more, right? So that essentially just gets them to go ahead and learn more, check out your Instagram once they do click on that ad itself. There's a couple different options here. You can do subscribe. That's really the only other one that you would potentially use, but learn more is totally fine, right? As far as all these other things goes, you have your pixel tracking. Again, stuff like that doesn't really matter because we're not sending them to any type of website, so you don't need to track them after that. Now, as far as the media goes, what you want to do is create an ad, right, that showcases your brand in a very positive light, what you're all about, and having the call to action of swipe up to follow. That's what we found worked by far the best. I'm not going to upload an ad. I'm actually going to show you an example of the account that we used. This was just me creating the actual ad and how we'd go about that. So what you'd want to do is just upload, some type of image or video there that has the call to action, swipe up to follow. You can also do like the headline here. For more content like this, that's a pretty long headline. If you want to learn about the best in digital marketing, swipe up to follow. Again, that isn't super important there. So let's go ahead and add a video here. I'll just go ahead and add this video in for now. Let me go crop here and let me make sure that's fitted to the placement. Okay, so let that upload, and then that's pretty much our ad, right? So pretty simple, and that's how you set up Instagram for followers, right? Now, what I would also do here is obviously we have some initial targeting. We're doing hunting, global, men 18 plus. For us, actually, because I'm just going to do this agency example, let's just go like digital marketing. And let's go down here and do digital marketing. Right, so that's our first interest. Now, what we can also do is we can just duplicate that, right? And then we can just test another interest, right, that we think might also perform well. I would just test like 2 or 3 at a time, cut the ones that aren't performing as well as far as like cost per click goes, and try some others, right? So let's open this up here, digital marketing, some suggestions. Let's go advertising as another one. And so I'm just going to name this one advertising. And then we can do it, one more here. Let's duplicate that again. And let's go ahead and add in one more interest here, just to kind of split test these, and let's do entrepreneurship, right? Actually, let's do small business. Let's do small business owners. Right, so that's pretty small audience actually, but small business owners. So we'll test all of that and we'll see how the results perform. Now, the unfortunate thing is that the only metric you can use to assess results is the cost per click. So one of these might actually be getting a much better cost per follow, but the cost per click is higher, 2 or 3x, but it converts a lot more to followers. You unfortunately aren't really going to know which of these is converting best. So you kind of just have to rely on which is getting the best cost per click. Now, a couple other things to note is that you want to create some audiences as well in the back end that you can use to kind of segment and create something. So if you go custom audiences here, what you'll want to do is just go Instagram account, open this up, select your actual Instagram account, and we're going to have a few different pages here. So I'm just going to select the agency account. Everybody who engaged with your professional account, anyone who visited this professional account's profile is another one that you can do. Account center accounts, people who sent a message, engage with a post or ad, people who visited the accounts, people engaged with the profile, people who started following this professional account. So this is a really, really important one. If you get a follower, you want to obviously not advertise them anymore because it did the job and they actually converted to a follower, right? If that makes sense. So what you're going to want to do is create an audience that has all of the people who followed your account so that you can exclude that from who you're targeting, right? So let's add this in here. Let's do, as far as the audience name here goes, IG followers, Jetstream. All right, so let's go ahead and create that. That's just going to get all of our followers right there. So super easy, and that's the first account thing that you want to create there as far as an audience goes. That's not correct. Custom audience, Instagram, Jetstream. Let's go everybody who engaged with this professional account in the last 365 days. So let's go IG engagers, right? 365 days. So that's another audience that we're going to want to create. And that's everybody who's engaged with our audience in the last 365 days. And then what we can create is one more audience here that's like people who visit our profile. Let's go people who have visited this professional account's profile. And then we can exclude people who visit the profile but have not followed by excluding the followers in the last 365 days as well. So let's go visited IG profile. 365 days, right? So there we go. So we have our three audiences there. Now another one that we can create as well is a lookalike audience. So we can actually just select that audience that we just created, IG followers for Jetstream, and then we can actually create a lookalike for those audiences, right? So in this case, if we wanted to do like the United States, Canada, we want to be more selective about our targeting here. The United Kingdom, Australia, let's say, and then we want to let's go Australia, right? And then we wanted to create a lookalike based on the people that follow us in these countries. Then we can totally do that and add this in, and that will create that. Now, if we expand that audience out to additional countries and like the total, the kind of the world, then what you'd want to do is actually go and do the same thing that we did, like add all these regions in here and create a lookalike for all of these regions. And then that's the best way, the best audience that you're going to get that's actually related to the data about people who are following you, right? You can create an audience of people who are following you, who you got followers from, create a lookalike, run an ad, and get even more followers, right, with that strategy. So pretty cool little tip there. If I create this, let's just go ahead and do that and see what is going to happen. So it's too small, so you need 100 people in the same country. So that's where you're going to run into an issue. You do need 100 people from each country to be able to create this audience. And so, you want to start out with the countries that you have 100 followers in, and then you can expand that out based on your targeting to additional countries. So I'm just going to leave that for now. I am going to let's just create one in Canada, because I know we have enough people in Canada at least to create this follower account. So IG followers, Jetstream, let's go Canada. And let's just do a 10%. I wouldn't worry about like 1% and trying to get really specific. But you can, so that'll populate as well. Now let's go back to the ad account. Boom, campaigns, and let's go ahead and edit all of these. right? And what we're going to want to do is add in that exclusion, right? So we're going to go ahead and exclude IG. Sorry, where are we at here? So custom audiences, and exclude the custom audience of IG followers, right? So all of these now are going to be new people. They don't already follow Jetstream, and we're advertising to these various interests in all these accounts, and so we can now go ahead and turn that ad on. Now, as far as the ad level goes, you want to test a few different ads. So right now you can see we have this ad going here. It's not very optimized as far as it's not really going to get followers or anything like that, but that's pretty much what that looks like. And then you'd hit publish, and boom, that's your follower campaign set up and ready to roll. The other option that you do have, like I mentioned, is actually to go ahead and create or use an existing post, except you can use that existing post in the actual ad account here. So I'll show you how to do that quickly. So let me just duplicate this ad here. Let's just say ad unit 2. We want to test out an existing post or story that you have that has done well. So what you can do is just scroll down here, and then you can select use existing post, and then you can just select a post here, from your Instagram, whatever you have here that's done well. You can filter by a actual story, right? Say we want to run this, boom, that's the post that we're going to use. Instagram video must be uploaded to Facebook. Okay, so looks like we're running into a little bit of an issue there, but that's another way that you can do that. You can essentially just select a post from here and kind of get rolling with that. Overall, pretty cool way to actually run an ad as well, and something that you can test. Now, let's go ahead and look at a live example of a brand that we spent tens and tens of thousands of dollars to actually run an Instagram follower campaign for them. So let's check out this account. I'm going to blur their actual brand name here, but you can see we spent $41,000 for them over the course of several months here. So I'm just going to go filter by ad delivery, October 1st to about May 31st, 2023. That's when this campaign was running. So you can see by the results here, I have the column set up here. We spent $41,000. Our CPM was very, very low, as we found the best way to get followers was actually just to open up that targeting, like I mentioned, to a lot of broad countries, because it was more of a vanity of anything, for this brand trying to get these followers. So we had a reach of 10 million, 33 million impressions. We had 321,000 clicks. Our cost per click was about 13 cents per click. Click-through rate was about 0.95 on stories. And you can see how many video views we had, how many cost per 3-second video views, etc. we had. So you can see a few different things here. So we had some different stuff that we tested, right? We tested a giveaway. We tested a retargeting campaign. We had some boosted posts that we also tested, and then we had this as well, which was some of the new creatives that we had, and then we had another giveaway as well. So what we actually found was the giveaways that we were running weren't performing the best. It was simply just an ad that showcased in 10 seconds in a story placement what the brand was about, targeting the interests. In this case, it was kind of like that hunting interest. And then that actually converted the best once we opened up the targeting to many geographic locations. So let me show you a little bit here about what we did and some of the campaigns that we were running. So you can see here we tested a ton of different stuff. We were literally just testing which audiences are performing the best: fishing, Cabela's, broad targeting, 1% IG engagers, hunting, right? And just kind of assessing the results here as far as click-through rate goes, and then ultimately the cost per click that we were getting on some of these campaigns. You can see there's definitely some variance in that, $1.39 versus 31 cents here, right? So definitely some variance, and that's kind of what we were working through testing, and then opening up those audiences as well. Right, we started in some of these, the top 5 locations, right? And then some of them we expanded out to a more global audience. As you can see here, some of these are global, as you can see by the naming convention. And so let's actually just open this up and just check out some of these ads here. Again, I'm just gonna blur out the brand owner, but show you some of the top performing ones here. So for example, this ad did very, very well. If you know this guy, I'm just gonna blur out the names, but if you know this guy, then you kind of know the company. But anyways, pretty cool ad here. You can see at the end, swipe up to follow. So pretty simple there. And then that's all we were doing, right? Showcasing the brand, showcasing some of his top clips, some engaging stuff, showing the account that we're trying to get followers for, and then at the end, simple call to action with the URL going to their actual Instagram page. So that was one of the best performing campaigns. The way that we actually were able to measure the results of these campaigns, we actually used a back-end software to actually track the performance of these campaigns. So I'm just gonna blur this out as well here, but same dates here, October 1st to May 31st. You can see the spend here, the impressions and everything, and kind of how that paced. And then also we kind of just pulled in the followers at that time as well. So you can see our Instagram reach here, our Instagram profile visits, and then our followers and how that progressed over time as well. And so we had some variations in times. Here we weren't really spending a whole lot, and then we were able to get 19,700 here, right? Followers gained, kind of the same thing there. And then we were actually able to assess the cost per follow, which we averaged around 0.62. So 62 cents cost per follow. The follower conversion rate, so how many people visited the profile actually converted to a new follower, we found that was about 13%. 512,000 profile visits. Let's go back here. 67,000 followers gained over that time. And again, we spent about 41,000 to get 67,000 followers. So that's, an example of, what we did in this case. And again, just following that same strategy that we did there. Our learnings from this have, led us to kind of conclude that the best way to do that is just with a simple IG story, 10 seconds long, call to action at the end that says swipe up to follow, showcasing your brand, and targeting broad, lots of different countries just to get as many followers in as possible. If you're going for a strategy that is focused on customers, right, that are actually going to engage, potentially buy something from you, then I would recommend doing a strategy that more tailors towards, a conversion or a lead campaign, or some type of funnel that, has a lead magnet, in your Instagram or something like that. I think that's gonna be a more effective strategy overall. So, okay, so there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed that video and hopefully got a good idea now for how to use Facebook ads to get Instagram followers. Now, to summarize and culminate the entire strategy, right? Use a traffic campaign, target some audiences related to your business, and target in the countries that you are wanting to get followers in, or expand to globally if you have the bandwidth and you just want vanity metrics and just want to get cheap followers as cheap as possible. And then for ads, run an Instagram story ad that has the link to your actual Instagram account, and have a simple ad that showcases your brand with a call to action at the end that says swipe up to follow. That's pretty much the entire strategy. So follow that and you should be, pretty good overall to get followers for around, that 50 cents number, potentially cheaper or more expensive, depending on kind of where you land. So if you do want help with this, you can check out the links below to apply to work with myself and my team, and we can help you overall implement this for your business to grow your Instagram followers. So I definitely recommend you to go ahead and check that out in the description below. Now with that, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button as well, so you don't miss out on any of the latest content in digital marketing and digital advertising. And with that, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.